What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with another review for Married to Medicine. This is season 10, episode 2. This episode is titled Heard It Through the Grapevine, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I don't need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Married to Medicine, shall we? All right, you guys, so we finally see Quad in this episode. So Quad went over to Phaedra's house. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, is Quad and Phaedra going to be the new freaking frack? Because I was getting that vibe when Quad got to the house, and I was like, oh, God. And you guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of Quad, and I'm also not the biggest fan of Phaedra either, right? So this is going to be interesting for me. And I also want to say this right here real quick, you guys. So, because I didn't say it in last week's review, but I will say it here. So for me, when it comes to Sweet Tea, I don't really have an issue with her. I don't know that young lady, so I'm going into this because I don't feel a way about her because of Quad. Again, you guys know, I'm not a fan of Quads. So I don't feel any type of way. I do think it's odd that she does live in the house. That's neither here nor there, right? So we find out that Quad has a new man that she's introduced to people. And so the man she's dating, I will say he's quite handsome, right? He's a handsome man. Now, Phaedra, the butler situation, was that really needed? Do y'all really believe Phaedra has a butler? Like, when it comes to Phaedra, the part that bothers me about her being on this show is we know how Phaedra is. She is theatrical. She goes over the top, and it just be a bit much. It be exacerbated. Like, it's just like, girl, be regular, be normal. If that is you, and I know I'm so glad it wasn't just me last week who noticed that with Phaedra when she came onto Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was one way, but now she's a whole ass city girl. But it is what it is, right? So Quad told Phaedra that she took a step back from the girls. I don't necessarily understand why. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Technically, she took a step back from the girls because her contract wasn't signed at that time of when filming started, right? But it is what it is. And so, Quad, nope, no. Phaedra told Quad about the situation with Toya telling her that she had a DUI. And so Quad said, well, she did get pulled over and she was cited, but her attorneys were able to get it, dropped, right? And I was like, okay, cool. And then also Quad lets Phaedra know that she feels a little bit of a way about the fact that, Heavenly had taken a picture with Sweet Tea. Now, I did see when Heavenly, I don't know if it was her review or if she was on Carlos King's channel as well. I know she said some negative, nasty things about that girl, and I was like, wow, Phaedra. I'm not Phaedra, but Heavenly, see, the girls don't read Heavenly like they should. The only person that ever got in Heavenly's ass was Mariah Huck. Now, again, like I said before, I wasn't a Mariah fan, but Mariah stayed on Heavenly's neck, and I loved it. But the girls now don't really stay on her neck, and y'all should. Heavenly is a good, y'all can easily read Heavenly. Just go in on her. I wish they would just read Heavenly. Now, on the flip side, we see Dr. G and Sweet Tea. Like I said, I have no issues with Sweet Tea, but when I see her and Dr. G kissing, it just turns my stomach upside down. Then to hear Dr. G's voice is just like, oh my God. I would shrivel up to hear that voice, to have sex with it. No shade, all shade. Now, one thing about Sweet Tea, pretty girl. She does look like Toya. She definitely does look like Toya. I see everybody saying she look like Goldie from Flavor of Love, but I don't see it. I just literally see Toya. But what I also do see from Sweet Tea is that, baby girl, you dress old as hell. I want you to get some younger looking clothes because your clothes are old as hell. You look like a 65-year-old woman. That is no shade, but you look old as hell. We also find out that she works for the federal government. I forgot what she said she does. One listening too deeply. So they're talking about the planning for the wedding and how stressful it is. Now, mind you, he's paying for the wedding, But she said, how much are you putting into the wedding? He said 90%. So I guess she's responsible for the other 10%. I was like, okay, cool. It is what it is. Like, if y'all like it, I love it. I don't really care, to be quite honest with you. We'll pause here and move forward, you guys. Next up, you guys, is Dr. Jackie. So we see Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is being her regular self, busy to the who's who of Atlanta, right? And so her latest patient is Debrat, right? And she was talking about how Debrat is 48 years old, and it's really interesting that she's 48 years old, and that they did IVF, and it took, I don't know, well, I think this was the second time, right, that they tried it. I think the first time she did have a miscarriage, so this is the second time. And I do know that Brad and Judy you guys have a show coming. They already had their show on WeTV, but they're gonna do a little mini series for them having a baby. I might watch it, you guys. I'm not. Don't hold me to it. I may watch it just to see what it's about. Now, will I review it? Probably not, right? Probably not, because I've never reviewed their show like that. But I do want to see what this process was like for them. And so we also see that Dr. Jackie got a new doctor in the office. Her name is Dr. Bullard. And I was like, okay. So Dr. Jackie makes it a habit to see her last patient at 2 o'clock, and then she goes home to lurch. And so she has her weekends free as well. I was like, okay, Dr. Jackie, I see you. Next up, Toya. So we see Toya. So Toya is introducing to the ladies that she has a wine club, right? So I think she says she sends it out each quarter. She'll send out her little box, and it'll have wine. It kind of sounds like Oprah's favorite things. If you guys are familiar with that, that's kind of what it sounded like to me. Oprah's favorite things. She'll pick some wines that she likes, and she'll send it out to the people who are part of her wine club, right? So she wants to introduce it to some of the ladies, right? And then she was on the phone with Sweet Tea, and while she was on the phone with Sweet Tea, Dr. Eugene came in, and so she was talking to him. Let me pause here, you guys. Something came up. All right, you guys. Sorry, I'm back. So we were talking about Toya and Eugene. So they were talking to their sons about this, having a sex talk with their kids, right? Now let me ask you a question. Did you guys have a sex talk with y'all parents? Because it was so uncomfortable for me when my mom tried to have that sex talk with me. Oh my God. It was the most uncomfortable conversation. She sat down with me, and I was like, oh my God, lady. And I was like, do we have to have this conversation? She was like, it was so uncomfortable. But she was trying to talk to me about it. I was like, Mama. And what I will say, the reason why it was so uncomfortable for me having a sex talk with her is because I already knew about sex. I learned about sex. Oh, so I learned about sex at a very, very young age, right? I learned about it through, you know, adult tapes. I learned about it through friends. But I also will say, when I was in middle school, we had a health class, and in our health class, they taught about, they taught about the body parts. So you saw a male body part, and you saw a woman's body part, right? So I wasn't too. So by the time she tried to have the sex talk with me, it was like I told her, like, I already know about sex. She was like, "Are you having sex?" I was like, no. Which technically that was it was a lie, but it wasn't a lie. It was a lie, but it wasn't a lie, right? And then she tried it one more time, because like I said, the first time I brushed her off, right? But she tried it one more time, and mind you, by the next time she tried to talk to me about it, well, she didn't even try to talk to me about sex. She was asking me. She was like, "Who are you dating?" I was like, what are you talking about?" She's like, "I saw the condoms in your car." I was like, "Oh, well, congratulations." She's like, "Well, I would like to know who you're dating." I was like, it is not dating. I don't know. That's not what I would call that." She's like, "Well, what is it?" I was like, "It literally is what you think it is. It's just I have a friend that I have sex with from time to time, but I would never say that that was a relationship. It was just literally friends with benefits, right? So yeah, you're not gonna meet anybody that I'm just casually having sex with. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am." And I said, you know, at least you know that I have condoms in my car and that I am very much so safe. So we're good, right? But I did like seeing them talk to their sons about the sex because, like I said, I learned about it at a very young age. So, and their sons are a little bit younger than what I was. Because, like I said, when I first saw the adult tapes, I had to be normal. When I first saw my first, Triple X tape, I had to be at least 9 years old. I was at least 9 or 10 years old. I kid you not. Actually, I was younger than that because how it happened. The first time I ever saw it, actually, scratch that. I learned about sex at a younger than that. I think I was at least okay. So you guys have to remember, I do have cousins that are a lot older than me, right? So one of my cousins, he was in the room and he had the girl, and they were doing it, and we could see them through the window. We were outside playing, and we could literally see them through the window. She wasn't quiet at all, and neither was he. And I was just like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Right? So I saw that. Then at one age, I think I was like 8 years old when my aunt lived by this lady who was an older lady, right? And the lady had no problem watching adult videos with the windows wide open. I mean, wide the fuck open, and you could just see it. I was like, wow. So she really is just gonna sit here and keep watching these movies with us kids outside playing, right? Again, outside playing, minding our business, and we see these tapes, right? And then I have another cousin that's older than me. He had, here's an interesting thing, right? He had a closet. He stayed with my grandma at the time too, and my grandma in the room where he slept. He had the closet full of adult tapes, right? And I would go over to my grandmother's house and I would take my TV and my VCR because in the back room there was no VCR or TV, right? It was just in the front room and in her bedroom. So if I was spending the night with her and I would go to school the next morning, what he would do is while I'm at school, he got his damn tapes in my VCR. And so I'm thinking that my stuff is like, I was watching Power Rangers and stuff, right? So one day I came home from school and I just hit play on the VCR and there we go. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we got going on. I was like, and I was trying to make sure that my grandmother didn't hear because, again, it wasn't mine. Mind you, I was in middle school, so I was at least 11 or 12 years old. I was like, oh God, get this out of it. I ejected that damn thing so fast and put it in the closet or put it where I was like, where is his stash at? Because obviously he got a stash, and I'm like, I didn't see him. So that's really how I got into, and then coincidentally, that is how I got into watching adult themed videos because of my cousin and his numerous collection. I'm like, damn, nigga, you got a lot of DVDs, a lot of VHS tapes. Why? And he had girlfriends. I hope he, never mind. That ain't got nothing to do with me. If they like it, I love it. And then, like I said, when I got to, I think I was in the sixth grade when I was in my health class and we learned about, pubic hair, and all that kind of stuff, right? And we read about it. And our teachers did educate us about sex. So I always feel like it's better. I think it would be better if the parents educate the kids than the kids learning from peer peer pressure. Now I will say I wasn't subjected to peer pressure. That is one thing I can definitely give you guys. I was not subjected to that. Was I or was I not? Technically, no, because nobody. No, I wasn't subjected to peer pressure because technically nobody knew when I lost my virginity. Nobody knew. Nobody knew when I lost it. So yeah. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So Sweet Tea, she went dress shopping with Phaedra and with Toya, and I thought that was very odd. So I was like, "Where's your sister? Where are your friends? Like, you don't have nobody that could have went dress shopping with you. Where's your mom? And if your mom is living, I don't. If your mom is deceased, then my apologies. But where are your friends and family? Where are your friends at your age? And I did at one point think that Toya and Phaedra were being a little shady, especially talking about that girl's lack thereof of booty, right? And so she kind of caught the shade, and I was like, well, at least you caught it, because like it was definitely there. And then they were telling her at one point to wear a girdle, and I don't think that that was a bad thing to tell her to wear a girdle, because a girdle, sucks you in. You want to look your best for your wedding day. You want to suck in. You want to lift your titties. You want to lift your booty. You want to do all that kind of stuff, right? So I didn't take anything negative for them saying that, but Sweet Tea did, and so it is what it is. So the friend that she got with her is a friend that she met through the support group that she has on Facebook, where I guess they're women who date men older than them. I ain't got a problem with it. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below, you guys. And so after that, we'll wrap up the episode, you guys. So the episode ends with, no, it really didn't end with Toya, but no, we're not gonna wrap up the episode. We're gonna wrap up these next few scenes, right? So Toya, you guys remember I told you she was having her wine event, right? So she set it up, and all the ladies showed up. I thought it was cute, and I'm so glad that nobody shaded Toya, because y'all know how this group is when it comes to Toya. Everybody, now again, Toya is not a favorite person of mine. They're so interesting. I just noticed something when it comes to Married to Medicine, but I've noticed for quite a few seasons. The wives, the doctor's wives, I'm not a fan of most of them. I don't think there's ever been a doctor's wife on this show that I've been a fan of. I, Anila, I didn't dislike Anila. I thought Anila was annoying, right? Quad, I don't see it for Quad. Toya, don't see it for Toya. And who else? Mariah, was not a Mariah fan. Lisa Nicole, damn sure wasn't a fan of Lisa Nicole Clouds. But I can also say, when it comes to Heavenly, I'm not the biggest fan of Heavenly, because Heavenly, let's just keep it a buck. I think Heavenly is like a big bully, and you guys can agree or disagree. So I'm not the biggest fan of Heavenly, but I do at times like Heavenly. But yeah, like I said, it was cute them at not shading Toya, right? So Toya got them to take some of the wines. She had her wine and she had some box wine. Everybody picked her wine except for Simone. Simone picked nothing but the box wine. I was like, well, damn. Sweet Tea. So Sweet Tea had to let Toya and, Phaedra know that she felt the way about them talking about the girdle. And I was like, girl, the girdle wasn't the problem. You should have been more mad about Phaedra talking about your flapjack ass, that you ain't got no booty. But hey, it is what it is. They apologized to her, right? And so at one point she got upset and she broke down because they brought up Quad once again. She told them about how she felt about them bringing up Quad. Dr. Jackie apologized to her, right? And so she just broke down. And so her and Simone went to the bathroom. And when she went to the bathroom, she was just telling Simone how she's feeling. I think she done bit off a little bit more than she can chew. And that's just my personal opinions. And so, like I said, ladies, once again, talk about Quad. I know that they can't break the fourth wall because technically they know why Quad wasn't around. She had not signed her contract at that point in time, right? And so the last scene of the episode, we see Phaedra. So Phaedra's sitting down with Dr. G, and she's basically asking Dr. G, is he sure that this is what he wants to do? He told her yes. She asked him, does he have a prenup? He said he's getting one. I sincerely doubt he's getting a prenup. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.